Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of CEO Medium Podcast. Today we have Mayank Batra with us, who is the co-founder of Get Digital with Mayank. Mayank is a digital marketing trainer and a consultant. Acting as a digital marketing enthusiast, he has unlocked the achievement of training 12,000 game-changing hustlers who has catered to more than 400 brands businesses with business solution and is moving on with the mission to empower India with digital marketing. He has spoken at more than 40 plus events, colleges and schools. He has been featured in various magazines and newspapers. His recent milestone was to be guest speaker at TechFest IIT Bombay. Previously worked with Vitifeed, and current brands in his backpack are Google, Fiki, Edureka, Upgrad and Get Digital with Mayank. Hi Mayank, welcome to the CEO Medium Podcast. Mayank, you have created a massive impact in the digital space for more than 10 to 12 years. You started your journey way back in 2011. So I want to talk about your journey into the digital world, on how you started from working in a BPO till 2011. Because let's face it, many youths in our country are still not aware of the digital potential. And if I tell you the statistical reports, millions of youths are working in BPO and not reaching their true potential. It was 1.6 million way back in 2009, and now the data has quadrupled. So what's your take on this?
So first of all, John, thanks for having me here. It's my privilege and honor to be here on the CEO Medium podcast, and it's a literally, I'm lucky to serve your subscribers and followers. So John, way back in 2008, it was not at all easy to get into a BPO like as it is easy right now, because communication skills and a lot of things were a crucial role to play in. And at that point of time, in way back in 2008, I was appointed as a customer care executive like everybody else, and I started working at 4,500 per month only. So the major takeaway that I would like to give to the youth from all my experience is, at least life में एक बार job करो. 8 to 10 months, work like a slave, eat that dog shit for 8 to 10 months. Be it any company, just work under someone, under some boss, under some, superior power that can control you and your decisions. Because what will happen is you'll realize three things. Number one, you'll know the importance of earning a piece of paper. Spending 100 rupees, you'll think twice before spending 100 pieces of, 100 bucks, 100 rupees. Second is, since you know how you were treated, you will be treating your employees or the team under you or with you very nicely, because you have gone through all that dog shit. So now you know how to treat them nicely. And number three, you will know actually where money belongs in your life. What is the value and importance of money in your life and in everybody's life? You will feel that importance. So I have got ample of promotions in my call center journey, and I have done a lot of businesses throughout my lifetime. But the one takeaway that I would say regarding digital is that if not now, then never. Because आज नहीं सीखा डिजिटल तो कल बहुत लेट हो जाएगा. If you are not stepping into digital right now, it's already too late. So it's already on boom. There are a lot of new things coming in digital. People are advancing in digital like full speed, 5x, 10x speed than you can think ever. So I think it's too late if you have not stepped yet. Start today to learn digital, to be a part of digital economy, to be a part of the digital media stream, industry, any industry. Just be a part of the digital arm or anything. That would be a takeaway that I would give from all my years of learning.
Awesome. So what made this transition from working in different companies to starting your own business? And what message would you like to give someone who would like to get into this whole digital universe?
So I'll be very honest with you. I have done a lot of jobs under a lot of pressure, and I have been a rebellious kind of guy. So my family is a typical Sindhi family. बहुत बड़ा business है पापा का, and crorepati and all thing, whatever comes from a business family, everybody knows that. But I was never inclined to that family business thing. So it's a very, very good thing to say that I was a rebel, and I chose not to sit on that $1 million chair and build something on my own. And I'm very proud to say that I made numerous mistakes that made me learn what to do, how to do, and what not to do. And I'll be very honest here. Any partnerships that I did I failed miserably. I opened a factory. I purchased franchise of a Red Chief brand. I opened plastic garbage bags related factory. I did a lot of businesses. I opened a lot of shops, and every time I even did construction, by the way. So every time I did something in partnership or any business that I tried, I failed miserably. And by the time I realized that, okay, we are pregnant with the first child, and I had to quit my good earning business at that last point that I was doing solo and switch it to a job due to some personal reasons. So that was a very crucial turning point in my life when okay, now we are pregnant with the first baby. How will we manage all the expenses, the doctor checkup and everything, because the savings were like flushed out, and somebody in that business actually gave me a huge loss and due to some reason. And I then realized that, okay, I'm good at writing. I am a tech savvy person, जो हम बोलते हैं tech savvy, बहुत ज़्यादा devices and all, you know how to handle, operate devices. I have a good communication skill. I can type very fast. So since due to these two things, I explored my writing opportunity as a content writer. And then I finally realized that, okay, I can be a top content writer in India or maybe in the world. But the moment I started that journey, I already did a lot of ghostwriting gigs because it used to give good money. By the time I realized, okay, content writing is just a branch of a big tree known as digital marketing. And then I stepped in, and around 2015-ish, I actually started exploring the entire world of digital marketing with one hand. And by 2016, I became a part of Google and few other brands, and I started training a lot of SMEs and SMBs around Pan India and around the globe. So that was a crisp note of how I entered digital.
Amazing, amazing, man. Your journey is so inspiring indeed. So we all know that traditional marketing has been outcast by digital marketing, and COVID has definitely proved that it's time to go digital. Do you think digital marketing will be outcast by artificial intelligence, machine learning, and augmented reality? And if not, so there is a second part to this question. So you can go ahead. I want to know your views.
So I don't know your second part will survive or not, because I'm going to cut your question right away if I have that liberty. Traditional marketing or traditional medium of marketing, also known as conventional or physical marketing, have not yet been outcasted by digital. Trust me on that when I say that. Because in today's date also, when we check the advertising expenses, see, we are engaged with all the content that we are on social media, and we just see what we experience. We just say what we experience. We just omit from our mouth that we experience. So you are active on Instagram and Facebook doesn't mean you are not looking at newspaper, doesn't mean nobody else is looking. You are not looking at TV doesn't mean nobody else is looking. I'll be very honest with you, buddy. Overall advertising expense, let's say there is a budget per year of $16,000 crore around the globe on advertising. Example, let's say, out of which only 16 to 18% is spent on digital. Rest maximum is spent on traditional marketing. So still digital is lacking way behind in terms of advertising expenses. But when we talk about engagement and branding, yes, digital is way forward. But still, I'll be very honest, there is a term coined as phygital or phygital, Phygital. So phygital marketing is a combination of physical and digital marketing. Any brand that wants to grow enormously, wants to do a 360-degree branding, they actually need to have physical and digital branding together. They need to be present on physical platforms and digital platforms together, because there is a mass audience available in physical market as well. Newspapers, radios, pamphlets, televisions. There is a huge mass audience waiting there as well. Still, people in today's date also watch soap serials, right? Today's date also people watch Big Boss. In today's date also people watch Kaun Banega Crorepati. Today's date also people watch cricket on television. So why is Amazon and Google giving ads on newspaper in first page that, okay, we have an exclusive sale, please, scan this code or download our app now? Why is Myntra giving advertisements in newspaper or radio maybe? Or why is Facebook doing partnership with Red FM and other radios to feature a lot of people who have grown from Facebook? I recommended a lot of names last week. So why Facebook is considering traditional media? Because there is a mass audience, untapped audience that is not coming on digital and still available there. So yes, they both are coexisting, and there is a way long journey for digital to take over or kick out traditional marketing. There's a huge journey, but I believe they go hand to hand. Without both of them together, a marketing strategy is a flop show. Number one. Number two, your carry-on question was, when will digital marketing, are there any chances like digital marketing be outcasted by AI, ML? See, I'll be very honest again. AI, let's say Alexa, okay Google, hello Siri. Machine learning, the best example is Google. It's learning from you every day, every search. AR, let's say Snapchat filters, Instagram filters. And VR, let's say any Oculus or business going on or anything related to Oculus that we do. Have you heard about the term data science?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So when we are doing digital marketing nowadays, what's next is voice search. People are doing voice search, and if you are available there in the voice search index, your website is listed or your podcast is listed or your video is listed, then you are getting a lot of organic views, right? Correct? You are even recording a podcast because of voice, right? So second, when we are talking about ML, you need to be there on Google, you need to be there on other platforms where machine learning can be interacted. So again, when we talk about all these things that can outcast digital marketing, no, my dear friend, they are actually in collaboration with digital marketing. Today or tomorrow, you will see the impact in open that all these things, including data science, are helping digital marketing, a brand, to grow in their digital marketing objectives. So data science can help you find demographics and psychographics of a user, of a huge mass audience, that, okay, they might buy this item next, and you prepare a strategy around it. How beautiful that be. So psychographics cannot be measured so far, but with the help of all these tools associated with digital marketing, they can be delivered. The results can be delivered and measured, and then the digital marketing's real role play will be enhanced in a much better way. So that would be my take on it.
So you actually answered the second part of the question. So my next question was basically, so will it go hand in hand, let's say in the next 10 or 20 years?
Why not?
You already answered that.
You will see the impact, my dear friend, and within 5 years, you'll see the impact, especially in the terms of voice search. It's no time whenever something pops up big, and you'll see that Google now has changed their algorithm to voice search and maybe something like that. So you might see anything anytime soon. A lot of brands are already big sharks are already working on it.
So people talk about their success stories of their business, but let's look at some of the failures and challenges that you faced along your journey while you were building your brand.
Number one failure, my family did not support me. Only it was my better half, my wife. We have been 17 years. It's been 17 years we have been together now. Out of which 8.5 years we were in a relationship, and it's been 9 years we are married, and we have 2 kids. So one of the challenge was, the first family was always unsupportive in any decision I took, including stepping into digital marketing industry, including leaving a business and starting your own, working as a job employee, company's employee, including quitting job and starting as a trainer, full-time trainer and consultant, designation under Get Digital with Mayank brand, including everything that I did. So family has always been a permanent hurdle. So it's okay. I'm happy that it's there because, एक motivation मिलता है कि मना कैसे किया, अब और करके दिखाऊंगा. So rebel thing that I told you, right? Few minutes back.
Yeah.
The second hurdle would be the person is trusting you. One person in the entire world, if that person is trusting you, the second hurdle or pressure or challenge comes is you can't prove them wrong. So you are now much more indebted with the faith of someone that, okay, you can do it, and there's no option, you have to do it. So it's another challenge. There are many more challenges, common challenges like money game, creating your own. So money would always be a problem with everybody who wants to start with. You just need to find your way out. How I did was, I had very good network, I had very good friend circle, I had good mentor. They incubated me in their office by allotting me a chair. Then another friend incubated me in their office by allotting me their conference room for 2 hours per day training, and I was not paying them anything until I earned good and gave them a gift, and I was a part of their family. And this is how you need to find your own way through. So you will get the opportunities, and trust me when I say this, you already have tons of opportunities around you. You just need to pick one and move forward. So I had this, I still have a lot of opportunities. For example, I'm into digital marketing, I'm into fashion modeling, I'm into esports right now. So at the back end of this screen of this recording right now, I'm creating a esports big company in India. I'm creating a esports courseware. So it's like opportunities are always there. You just need to tap on it, move forward, tap on another, move forward. They will actually decide your fate. So never ever turn away any opportunity that you get just because you might procrastinate it, just because you think you can't do it, just because there is some other issue. I think there would be n number of challenges everywhere. There would be health challenges, there would be family challenges, there would be friends challenges, there would be inferior complex challenges, there would be mindset challenges, there would be knowledge challenges. Bypass them. These are bullshit challenges. So you just need to push yourself. You just need to keep moving. The challenges would also keep moving ahead of you. So let's say you see, after 2 steps, I might face this challenge, right? We always see challenges in such a way, right? कि if मैं 2 कदम बढ़ाऊंगा वो चैलेंज मेरा वेट कर रहा है. Like मैं वहां जाऊंगा तो पैसे ही नहीं है देने को. आप जाओ, वो चैलेंज और 2 कदम आगे चला जाएगा. So there would always be a boundary between you and your challenges. The 2 steps you move ahead, the challenges will step back 2 steps. So you will always be in fear of those challenges, but you only they will stay away if you face them. So you always have to keep moving forward. That is what I have done. That is what I am doing. And the list of challenges are, my dear friend, endless. मैं अभी यहाँ पे 50 challenges गिना सकता हूँ, but I don't want to demotivate anyone. I just want to say, move and face them. Give them eye to eye. Give them eye to eye contact. The 2 steps you move forward, the 2 steps they will go backward. This is what I have experienced in my life.
Is personal branding important, and how did it impact your business? Because nowadays I see many people, they create their own digital marketing company, and along with that they also create a personal brand. So I want to know how it is impacting your business and what role does it play?
So let me give you a conclusion first and then the explanation later. So conclusion is, I usually get 1 lead on an average per day on my LinkedIn or Instagram together. We want you to be a speaker here. We want you to be take a session here want you to be a corporate training guest for 8 to 10 days. I was in Jodhpur last week for 10 days training. There is an institution known as Utkarsh Classes. They invited me for 10-day training for. So they what they teach is IPS and IAS things. So I get a lot of leads for speaking, for training, for corporate trainings, for consultations. I have huge charges for consultation compared to the market value, and I still get a lot of them. So why is that? Because I have a lot of and why I'm getting a lot of inbound queries, why people are reaching out to me, because of my personal brand. Though I'm not so much invested in personal brand right now at this moment, but still I'm getting it. The moment I get aggressive, I'll be getting more than I could handle, right? So yes, number 1, it's not just digital marketing. If you are in pharma, in textile, food industry, if you are in like any industry, computer industry, personal brand has become one of the most crucial part of your branding nowadays. Because what happens is, personal brand is like human touch, right? It creates a personal touch. Okay, that I am influenced by this guy or girl, and I think I can trust what he or she is saying. Have you heard about Nas Daily, that 1-minute video guy?
Yeah, I have.
So they just launched recently. Yeah, so they recently are running a lot of explosive ads on everybody's feed, and they're selling their own courses. Why? Because Nas Daily actually built his own personal brand along with his girlfriend. So have you heard about Raj Shamani? He's a very dear friend and brother to me. So Raj Shamani is building his own personal brand since almost 3 to 4 years now, at least, maybe more than that, on a very aggressive mode, I'm saying. There are a lot of people that are building personal brand regardless of the industry they are in, regardless of the future niche they want to select. But I think personal brand is one of the most crucial thing you need to work on. And personal brand doesn't mean like you are just putting up posters, you are just putting up random stories, you are just sharing about your BM or Merc. No, my dear friend. Personal brand is like providing more and more crucial value that actually someone needs to hear from you. So let's say I am providing something that I'm answering one of the most pressing question of someone: how to start a podcast, how to create a website. If you come to my feed or if you come to my YouTube, you'll find those answers. And I believe maybe any of such answers, I'm just giving an example. And I believe that I solved one of your biggest query, and you just took me as your mentor into your subconscious mind. And now I'm your mentor. Now I'm your guide, or now I'm like a problem solver altogether. So don't you think that if you have any more problem, you're going to DM me next time related to digital? Yes, you will. And at that point of time, if I revert you very promptly with the perfect answer, you will be saying a lot of thanks to me. You will be praising me as a personal brand, and for being so down to earth and humble. And I think these are the qualities a personal brand needs to have. Be helpful and be kind. That's it. And of course, be knowledgeful. Be so knowledgeable that you can actually help people. So I think it's going to 10x or 100x your business anytime soon. Any industry.
Beautiful. I think this is going to help a lot of budding entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So what is your future vision as an entrepreneur for your brand, and how do you wish to contribute to society through your brand?
So frankly, I've been already contributing a lot to society that I do not want to disclose, because since childhood I have believed in a philosophy that if you donate from this hand, the other hand should not know about. So yes, I don't want to brag about anything that in that case, but yes, on an open note, I have helped, as far as I could count, I have helped and empowered more than 15,000 people via my training sessions, via my consultations, via webinars, seminars, schools, colleges, everything. I am helping a lot of big businesses, and so far I've catered more than 400 brands and businesses with the good digital solutions. And my vision is like empowering more than 1 million people within 2 to 3 years across the globe. And I think I'll be able to do it anytime soon. The next vision I have for my business or brand is like, I need to have at least not more but 100 more Mayank Batras in my team. So that have the same thought process, that have the same passion, that have the same stamina to eat that dog shit and still deliver with a lot of patience. So it's not easy to train people. It's not easy to help. And it's not easy to listen to a lot of negative comments, including your close ones, when you are helping people. So I need a lot of people like me who can actually do all these things and still be a part of the mission for a long time. So just like I want to empower a lot of people, more than 1 million people. And my next step would be like creating a lot of Mayank Batras around me. That's it. So why not? So digital is the need, right? Digital is a skill set we all need to have. From a 14-year-old kid to maybe a 50-year-old uncle or auntie who needs to do something in life, I think they need to know digital skills. Or at least not to get scammed by fake Paytm QR codes and all. They need to know the digital skills, or at least to be, enjoy the entertaining part of Facebook and Instagram. They need to know the digital skills. So I believe that if I could be a part of their digital journey, nothing would make me more happy. Simple.
So Mayank, I want to ask you a very personal question. So you are a successful entrepreneur, trainer, consultant, and you have always so you have always you are always seen in various events, seminars, and you are also a successful family person. So how do you maintain the work-life balance, if I may ask you?
So frankly, the answer that I'm going to give you is kind of may sound diplomatic to you or to the listeners, but it's a straightforward answer from my heart. Work-life balance does not exist. It's a fucking bullshit thing to consider in life. So I'll just share my experience that I worked in 2018 in one of the second biggest viral content marketing company, that is Vitifeed. And now it's shut down due to war with Facebook or XYZ reasons. So I was a very happy employer, family guy there. I worked 3 designations there. I started as marketing and communications head. And for 2 months, for 4 months, I worked as executive assistant to the CEO. And the third thing I worked was brand delivery head, where I catered a lot of big brands like Amazon Prime Video, Mirzapur, Flipkart, Amazon Deals. A lot of movies were catered in a media planning, and and making sure that their presence is humongous and the desired reach is achieved in terms of their marketing plan. The list of 60 plus brands is listed in my LinkedIn profile. If you guys want to go and see, it's there in the experience section. So the catch of sharing this experience is, then I was working as executive assistant to the CEO under Vinay Bhaiya, who used to be the CEO of Vitifeed. And I was a family guy to him. Even if his family member wanted to meet him, they used to take appointment from me first. That okay, Vinay bhaiya ka time chahiye. Sort of that kind of achievement we had, and he trusted me like 10,000%. So, and he gave me the work of 10,000% as well. So, giving an example, he went to the US, the States, for a business tour for around 3 to 4 weeks, and I managed his time zone as well, which is like 12-hour delay, almost 12 and a half. And I managed my time zone my working hours under my time zones as well, without any complaints. So I used to be up until 3:30 a.m. finishing all his calendar, meeting notes and everything, and scheduling his next day meetings, stay, flights and everything, and then coming to my office and doing my work at the office floor as well, and making sure that nobody misses the CEO, because I was the right hand and the next person to make decision after him. So when you say that work-life balance, so what would you think of a work-life balance when your wife and kids are sleeping next to you on a bed and you're working until 3:30 a.m. and you just wake up at 9 a.m. and just move to office again, and you come back at around 12 or maybe 1 a.m. and just keep working again? So there is no work-life balance. Your work needs to understand when it is required to have a good life, your me time, maybe a Goa trip, or maybe any let's say greenery area trip or nature trip, or maybe a me time or solo time, spending 5 days in your own room without doing anything. Your work needs to understand that you have a life, and when it comes to work, your life needs to understand that now you need to work for a longer time without any obstacles, without any giving you a second thoughts that okay bro, you have a life too. Oh, fuck that shit off. You don't have a life if you don't work, and if you don't work, you don't get a good life. So unless you are a rich brat from your ancestral properties and everything, you got to work even to maintain that thing. So work-life balance, it's an amalgamation. Sometimes the bar would be here at 30-70, sometimes the bar would be here at 90-10. So you just need to be like happy with whatever life gives you. I have like worked five days from offices and just coming and sleeping for 3 hours at home for when the big campaigns used to come. I have done a lot of things that an employee should not be doing, but that was all love for the company. So we used to say #love for BTP. I have done a lot of things in life that are not recommended or advisable from a person like me that should be done. But if you call that hustle, I would love to do it again. So the work-life balance is just a myth to slow you down. Okay, remember that it's a breakage. It's a speed breaker. And if you're running, if you want to run, if you want to fly, you need to run fast. And let's say have you ever seen a speed breaker on an airplane runway, on an airport runway? Have you ever seen a speed breaker?
No.
No, right? Because it does not exist. So that is work-life balance theory. It's a speed breaker on an airport runway, right? So never consider that in your life. You are the moment, the time until you have good energies, good mindset, good network, work it out, make it out, make multi-millionaire out of it, become a multi-millionaire out of it. But the moment you realize that now you are deteriorating, your network is deteriorating, your age, you are dragging yourself much, and you're getting older now your energies are getting less, and now you have to focus on your health and meditation more. Your kids are growing up now, you have to focus on them more. Then your life part kicks in. Still then you need to work. But now you would have realized at that point of time, I should not have taken that extra vacation, that I would have avoided and worked more and made some extra money. So, or maybe did some extra networking or whatever. Did some extra to my startup or did some extra to my book. So what do you call work life? I think if I'm working on myself, that's life. Won't you say that? If I'm working on my brand, that is my life. It's my baby. So why would somebody come up and say, Mayank, what's your work and life balance? I would say it's 100%. Now, whatever you want to assume, you can just assume either it's 100% work or it's 100% life. I would say it's full of life. My work is full of life. I love my work. I have been offered, I would love to disclose it. I have been offered 2 lakh rupees plus in hand job recently in lockdown, and I humbly denied it with all due respect, because the kind of freedom and the passion that I am living of empowering people makes me more happy any day, rather than going for a very heavy paying job that more than I'm earning right now. And I'm very happy to be here where I am, because this is what keeps me moving. This is what my work in life is. So I think that's I rest my case by saying it's just what you think it is. So it's not diplomatic, it's a straightforward answer from me. I repeat. So yeah, please.
Thank you so much, Mayank, for sharing your amazing journey with us. So this brings us to the end of the podcast, and it was a pleasure talking to you, Mayank.
Pleasure is all mine, buddy.
So, guys, I've listed all the social media handles of Mayank below. Do check them out. So, before we close this, so I want you to give a tip or a game changer, advice or any book recommendations that you would like to give somebody who wants to embark
Sure.
on a similar journey like you.
Sure, why not? So number one book you need to read is Rich Dad Poor Dad. It has not just changed my life, it has changed the life of like millions of people. Okay. The second book you need to read is, at least in any scenario from any industry, not just digital, is The Secret. A lot of people might have read it here who are listening, because it makes you more focused and more determined towards your goal, and whatever you are thinking, it makes it happen. Okay. You might read some more happy books, like my current read is Solve for Happy, but then you need to switch to Gary Vee books, like start from Crush It, then Crushing It, and other books of Gary Vee, like if you want to go for business, like Jab 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 Hook and all. And then you can switch to more further CEO books and other Steve Jobs and biographies, because they are going to give you more wisdom about how they have lived and how actually you are living, and how you need to transform from where you are right now. You can also follow Robin Sharma, Jay Shetty, and many other such amazing thought leaders in the world. Whatever you think good, just go ahead and read. Pick a book and read it. Even मेरे recommend करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. You need to have a calling for reading. You need to have a calling for that book. So let's say you just start with the basic books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and this Secret, and just pick any other fucking book in the world and start reading. It should be beneficial, like it should be related to your business or interest, not a fiction or not a, time pass nahi. Genuine gems, value bombs jisme ho. Somebody who writes a review like, okay, it changed my life, or it changed my thought of thinking about this process. It made my life much better. So I follow Gary Vee like anything. I am a true follower of Gary Vee, true fan of Gary Vee since years. And I have read each and every word at least 3 or 4 times of his book, of his videos, of his YouTube, of his podcast, of his emails, of his website, whatever the content is out there. So it does not just keeps me moving, but it also helps me to be more humane. So books are not to make you flourish. They are actually meant to make you more stable, okay? So any book you just pick, just read it out and finish it. Any book you have interest in. Baki Google to hai hi karne ko. Cool.
Thank you so much, Mayank. So guys, please share this video with your family and friends, and thank you for watching. Stay happy, stay safe.
Oh, then I would give my punchline as well. Stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing. Cheers, guys. Have a good time and stay safe.
Thank you so much, Mayank. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, buddy. Pleasure is all mine.